everyone. So today I'm just going to talk about how you can start off some plants for your garden from seed. And we're going to talk about Heuchera because they're really easy to grow from seeds. Seeds that you can buy online or seeds that you can harvest from your own plants if they have flowers and yeah, if they have flowers, you can wait for the flowers to sort of dry out and start to die off, and then cut the flowers back, and the seeds will quite easily come out onto a bit of paper where you can see them as little black circles. So some of these seeds are harvested, like these ones from my plants that are very small seedlings at the moment, or these ones that I actually bought online and started a bit earlier in the year. And I actually bought these from Amazon, and they were great. But it's good to check the reviews, so you're not going to be, well, you're buying the right seeds, and you're not going to be sort of disappointed with them. Not receiving any sort of any growth from the seeds that you've planted, or the wrong sort of plants. So yeah, what you want to be doing is I'd recommend anyway not using a seed tray. Just go for a small pot, like this is a 9 centimeter pot, or something suitable for what you'd like to have the plants in, because it can be really tricky sort of getting the plants, small, delicate seedlings, out of the seed trays. So I tend to just start them in a pot that they will be fine in as they start to grow, or that I plan to keep them in the whole time. So take like a 9 centimeter pot like these. Some are a little bit bigger. If they're bigger, then put a few more seeds in. We're going to go about 5 to 6 or 5 to 8 seeds to a tray. Sorry, not to a tray. I've just said don't use a seed tray, but to a pot. So we're going to make some small indentations into the compost, and then we're going to sprinkle the seeds, into the indentations we've just made. After this, we're going to completely soak the compost with water, and then what we plan to do is cover them over, whether this be in a propagator, it could be one of these little like portable, propagators, or it could be one of the more heavy duty professional ones, or it could even be a carrier bag that you've tied at the top with a few air holes just to create some condensation and humidity in there, which will help the plants along the way. So we've sprinkled the seeds in, we've covered them, given them a good covering with water from our watering can, and then we're going to tie up the bag or close the propagator. If you do have a heat mat for the propagator, then that also will help the process. But if not, they'll be fine. Heuchera are really resilient and really easy to grow from seeds. So here's some I started quite a while ago, say 3 weeks, and it does take quite a while for the seedlings to appear. But then in the next sort of few weeks after that, you start to be able to see things that resemble Heuchera more than the sort of round leafed seedlings that you have at first. So you can see these now have the Heuchera shaped leaves, and these have been growing for about 3 to 4 weeks. So I'll just show you the different pots. These ones are doing great. They were all planted at the same time, so some are doing better than others, but they've all had the same sort of conditions. You do tend to get that, after they get to the point of resembling the Heuchera leaves, they grow much more quickly. So you do start to notice that the plants are really coming along and starting to resemble the shape of the leaves that you'll know from the mature plants. So we've covered them over, and we're just going to leave them. We're not going to touch them. We're going to leave them on the windowsill, in the propagator, wherever they are, for about 3 weeks, and every sort of couple of weeks, depending on the weather conditions, we're just going to check inside the bag, check the compost hasn't dried out, and recover it back over. If it has dried out, give it a little spray if you have a water can. If not, bottom water the plants, because if you try to water with a watering can or whatever, then you will damage some of the seedlings and potentially lose some of the seedlings. So we're going to bottom water those, and how you do that is just by picking up one of these pots and placing it into a bowl of water and just leaving it there until the soil is saturated. So yeah, it's been like 3 to 4 weeks, and we can see some seedlings. So what we're going to do is uncover the bag, or if they're in a propagator, you can leave them there, but we're going to start checking more often that the compost hasn't dried out, and keep bottom watering them if it has dried out, or give them a little spray. So now it's just really waiting. Once they sort of get to this stage, they need more light. I still wouldn't be comfortable really keeping them outside, because though it's good for the light and things, the rain could potentially damage again the seedlings, and you end up losing the seedlings before they get to this lovely stage that we're looking for, where we can plant them in the garden. So if you can keep them on a windowsill or in a propagator or covered over, on an evening, so that any rain and things like that isn't going to get to them. What I have been doing is I have put these outside, but I cover them over with with like a portable sort of propagator. Hang on. Let me just show you a sec. Oh, I've picked up the wrong thing, but this is a seed tray from one of these portable propagators that I'm in. So it's just like the same sort of plastic you get, but it doesn't have the seed trays, and that just goes over the top of the plant pots. So there's not really anything you need to do from this point. Just make sure they don't dry out. Do everything that you would to protect them while they're quite small, and wait a few more weeks, depending on the time of year, until your plants start to grow and get to this sort of stage where where they are more resilient and can handle the sort of weather conditions, a bit of wind, a bit of rain, things like that, and treat them as you would any other mature Heuchera plant. Oh, sorry, Heuchera. sorry. Treat them as you would any other Heuchera plant. Yeah, so these ones are fine to plant outside, and they are also good to keep in a pot, or admire as you would any other Heuchera plant. So yeah, it's just sort of a waiting game, watching your seedlings as they mature, and then once they reach this sort of stage, then they're fine to plant outside into the ground, or to keep in a pot, and hopefully produce some flowers, and we can start the process again.